So a little background about myself. My name is Runa, and I am the head of operations and co-founder at Safehouse. Now, I've had about 3 to 4 years experience in the real estate industry. Worked with some of Nigeria's top real estate firms, and I've dealt with lots of clients, and I can tell you that almost every person in real estate have had one experience on the other, from trying to purchase a land and then discovering that the land you're trying to get has issues, has encumbrance, and then you have to deal with family, deal with government. So many persons have even lost money trying to purchase land in Nigeria. Then we'll now go to trying to buy a house. You try to buy a house and you're trying to do even a buy off plan, and you give your money to a developer and you discover that after a certain period of time you didn't see your house, you couldn't get your money back. So the issues that we have in real estate in Nigeria is enormous. We can't even talk about, we can't exhaust them with just this session. But our objective about for this webinar is we'll try as much as we can to show you and show everyone that is connected here how is it that you can invest in real estate in Nigeria without getting your fingers burnt. What are some of the secured ways that you can invest in real estate? What are some of the things that you should watch out for when trying to invest in real estate, whether you're trying to get a land or you're trying to purchase a property? What are some of the things that you should watch out for? What are the pitfalls that you should watch out for? What are the meaning of some of the jargons and that you hear in real estate? That you hear something like governor's consent, C of O. What's the difference between a governor's consent and a C of O? And how is it that you can merge this all that together? So I'll just dive right in and I'll share my screen so that we can go right in. After my session, I will hand over to Basi. Basi is the head of remittance at Flutterwave, and he's here and he will handle some of the next session about how is it that you can buy properties in Nigeria using their remittance platform and how secure is their platform. What are the rates that you can get? How secure is it? What is it that they are doing? And just so you know, Flutterwave powers Safehouse, powers the payment for Safehouse. So I'll dive right in and we'll just go right into our presentation. All right. All right, so I hope everyone can see my screen. All right, so I go in. So the first thing I want to talk about is why real estate and why Nigeria. I hear lots of people say things like Nigeria real estate is overhyped. We shouldn't invest in real estate. Why there's inflation, the naira is being devalued, Nigeria is a poor country, and all that, and so real estate is not ripe. But the first thing I would like to say is that real estate has proven to be one of the most profitable investment opportunities available in Nigeria, with relatively low variability of returns. So what I'm trying to say is that real estate is profitable regardless of all the economic indices that you see. Real estate is very much profitable. Why is it profitable? And why do I think that it's very important that you consider real estate if you as part of your investment portfolio? And Nigeria has a housing deficit of over 15 million houses. And we have 87% of our population living on rented apartments. So of the 15 million housing deficit that we have a huge percentage of our population living in rented apartments. We also know that from our population numbers that Nigeria has a growing population, and a huge percentage of this population are young adults. And Nigeria still remains a viable investment destination because of our population size, because of our housing deficit, and because of the demand for houses. Now, there's a huge demand for residential and commercial accommodation by the growing middle class. So we have a huge, because of the younger adults that we have a high demand for accommodation. Shelter is one of the most important, is one of the basic necessities of life. You must live somewhere. So, and then in spite of the inflation and the devaluation of Nigeria is still one of the countries that I know you can invest in something and then you can get a return as high as 40%, sometimes even 50%. I'm working on a project right now. It's a luxury project, and When we started that project, it's in Victoria Island. We started selling off plan at 30 million naira for a one-bedroom apartment. This was barely about 18 months ago. As I speak to you, a one-bedroom apartment in that same project is 66 million naira. That's over 100% return on investment. You can't get it anywhere. So, in spite of our devaluation and inflation and all that, Nigeria still presents a good opportunity for investment. Before I continue, I would like to also say that if you have a question, you can, or any comments, you can put it on the chat box, and we'll go back to it at the later time. Now, why is real estate still big for me? Why is real estate still the thing for me? Now, real estate for me, it's still the main thing you should consider as part of your portfolio for about 5 reasons I mentioned. I list out here, or six. First of all, I talked on cap profit. I just gave an example of the off-plan project that we did in Victoria Island. That within a year grew from 30 million naira to over 60 million naira, 66 million naira. Real estate is secure. Whatever you're investing in, you can see it. There's nothing like the house is going to disappear or whatever. It's staying there, and you can actually see your property. And then there's tax advantage. And then if you speak with your tax consultants, you know that you get some certain tax rebates if you own a property. And even if you are going to be assessing a mortgage, you also enjoy some tax rebates if you do your payee tax. Then for cash flow, now you put a property on rent, on Airbnb, or you do land banking, or you lease out a property, you know that you get good returns on investment. You get a monthly cash flow. Money comes in because of that same property. So, for example, I buy a property that's 20 million naira. Outside of my capital, which is 20 million naira, outside of the fact that I can sell that property at a later date for way more than 20 million naira, if I buy in the right location and for the right price, I also have cash flow for in terms of rental value that I get from the property. Now, there's also what we call leverage. So you can leverage your property for other investments. Then real estate is a tangible asset. Um, what are the types of real estate that we have? We have three basic types of real estate. We have a commercial real estate, which is basically with properties that are used for business purposes. So what is your office complexes, your recreational facility, your malls, the ShopRite, the Palms Mall, and hospitality, your hotels, boutique hotels, and all that. They fall under commercial real estate. Your residential real estate is properties bought mainly solely for the purpose of living. So where you stay, your estate, and all that, they're regarded under residential real estate. Then we have the industrial real estate, which are properties built or acquired solely for manufacturing or production. These are warehouses and factories. Now, what are the top locations of real estate investment in Nigeria? I know I'm running quite fast because I have just 20 minutes, and because we won't have enough time to entertain questions. Now, from our experience and from the available data, we know that there are three top locations when it comes to investment in Nigeria: Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, and then the fourth one is Enugu. Of these three, the number one is Lagos. In fact, some of the most expensive properties in Nigeria, in Africa, and in West Africa, they sit in Lagos. They sit within the Ikoyi, Victoria Island, Lekki axis of Lagos. So these are your top locations for real estate investment. Now, what are the steps to buying a property? Of course, if you understand the steps to buying a property, you understand what it is that you should watch out for when you're buying a property so you don't fall into deep stars. First of all, is that you have to decide on the location and what your budget is. You also need to find a credible real estate practitioner. Find a property that suits your location. Sort out your budget. What is the budget that what's it that you have to spare? You know, conduct your due diligence. I'll be focusing on that due diligence part at the later part of my presentation. Thoroughly inspect the property, negotiate price and payment terms. I'll go back to number 5 about thoroughly inspecting the property. The mistake that some persons make is you buy a property, you go there and you see it's beautiful and all that, and then you didn't do a thorough inspection. Later on, you discover that there are so many mechanical faults in the property. You discover that you bought a property and then the water is coming out from the ground, or the foundation wasn't properly done, so the house is sinking. or the plumbing work, the water is leaking out from the walls, So you have to conduct thorough inspection. And that's why it's very important that you conduct a professional when you want to buy a house. I know in Nigeria, we're so scared of using professionals because we don't want to pay and all that. But we understand that it's very important that you use a professional, because a professional understands the pitfalls that you have to watch out for, especially when it's a credible professional. And that's what we're doing with Safehouse. So we're building a platform that allows you to be able to, that handles all these things for you and connects you to the right professionals for every of the aspect of your project that you should watch out for. Then negotiate the right price and payment terms. It's very important. So for example, I recently just helped a client to negotiate. We recently just helped a client to negotiate the terms at Safehouse. So you want to negotiate, you want to buy into a off-plan project. So off-plan project simply means a project that has not yet been built. You just want to buy for the sake for before the project is built. So it means you are an early investor. Now, I know you are scared of losing your money because obviously you're buying at a cutthroat price. There's a reduction in price because you're an early investor, but you also want to be sure that you don't lose your money. Some of the things that we added to that negotiation when we got the offer is we added the fact that if and at the time that has been stated for delivery, the property is not delivered, our client is going to get a payment, a money back with a certain percentage, because we're investing that money in the project. And obviously, if we had dropped that money sitting there in the bank, you would have needed at least some returns. So, and then most of the mistakes that we make when buying real estate what I've noticed for so many persons is so many persons don't read their offer letters and their sales agreements. You just buy, you just see the house, you like the house, and you feel like that's all about buying. No, that's not all. You have to read your sales agreement, read your offer letters, understand what is it that the developer is offering you, what are the rebates in case of default, what are the rebates in case you yourself even default. Sometimes you buy a property and you don't even realize that you're supposed to pay a certain amount of money even after, even when you default. So for example, or even when the developer defaults and you are asking for your money, sometimes you don't realize that you are going to be asked, your money is going to be paid back to you with deductions. Some developers deduct as high as 50%, some 40%, some 10%. So you have to read your offers and know what it is you're getting into before you go into it. Now, make your payment and take possession of your property. So I'll just go further. Now, it's very important that you understand there are so many opportunities in real estate. In fact, with the pandemic. So, for example, I was just having a conversation with the senior partner of Ninth Frank. Now, one of the things that we realize is that because of the pandemic, the hospitality business got a huge hit, and the residential part of real estate got a huge hike because so many persons are now working from home, and so hotels were locked. So many of them had to move to their homes. So many persons, so there's going to be a huge demand for residential apartments, one-bedroom apartments, two-bedroom apartments, then mixed-use developments. Many people want to be able to live in a place where they can work, somewhere that's fully functional, serviced apartments. Then another opportunity that so many people don't know is land banking. So for example, let me just talk a bit about land banking. There are areas in Lagos and in other outskirts of Lagos, like Ogun State and other parts of this country, where so many persons are looking to not in the developed areas that are still coming up, where they are looking out for properties that they can invest in. So you look out for those areas that are still developing. Before Lekki Fizan became this all developed and all that, so many persons bought land here in Lekki and they made a huge profit out of it. So you sit down and you ask yourself, where is development going to? And you have areas, so many of those areas in Lagos State, like Ibejuleki, the Ekpe the Mowe, the Lagos Ibadan Expressway, the Agbara area, Ogun State, some part of Ogun State, So you look out for those areas, you go there, buy lands at a very good price. Some families are trying to sell off their properties. You buy at those rates, get your surveyor to chart the numbers and ensure that those properties free from government acquisition. You buy those land, fence it, and later on you sell. I remember a transaction we did somewhere in Bejuleki. where the family was needed, they were in a distress and needed to sell off those properties. And we bought a plot of land for 250,000 naira. And in those places, the land usually go for about over a million naira there because the owner needed money urgently. He sold those plots, and we sold those plots, and in less than 6 months, we sold the plot, that same plot, for this exact same amount, and we made our money from it. So there are so many opportunities in real estate that people do not are not aware of. So well, don't just real estate is not just about I have money, I want to buy a property, I have money, I want to buy a land, I have money, I want to buy a house. Where should you buy? How should you buy? What are the things that you should watch out for? How can you maximize your investment? So these are some of the things that you should watch out for when trying to invest in real estate. So I'll just move over quickly. Now let's go to the real cocoa of the gist, the real thing. What are the things that you should watch out for to avoid being scammed? Now we know that in Nigeria, real estate is tricky. In fact, if you had Nigerian parents, they must have told you, please, oh, anything that has to do with land, oh, don't go and quarrel or fight over land, oh. There are so many stories that abound about properties in Nigeria and how so many persons have been scammed. Now, the first thing I will say to you when trying to buy a property and you avoid being scammed, especially if you are in Nigeria and in diaspora, or you are not in Nigeria, you're trying to buy a property in Nigeria, please use professionals. Don't be tempted to want to use your family. Don't be tempted to want to use your brother, your sister, your uncle. We know the stories of sisters and uncles that you gave money to buy properties and only for you to get back and realize that the property that you paid for wasn't what they got for you. So use professionals. And that's why the reason why we have buy safe house. One of the things that we're doing with safe house is we're trying to build an ecosystem of trust around the real estate industry in Nigeria, especially for our Nigerians in diaspora. We're trying to build a platform that connects you to verified real estate professionals and developers. Through this method, we ensure that whatever you are buying, you are getting the right value for your money, and nobody can dupe you. So one of the things that we have done with Safehouse is that we have an escrow model that we're developing. So with this escrow model, let's say you want to buy a house in Banana Island, and the house was $200,000. Now, what you do is that you come on Safehouse and see the property and say, Safehouse, I like this property, but I want to buy this house and I want to pay in 6 months. And in those 6 months, you will only release the money to the developer. Let's say the developer's name is Babajide. Babajide Real Estate. You only release the money to Babajide Real Estate if it meets so and so condition. So you pay the money to Safehouse. Safehouse doesn't hold the money. Safehouse holds the money with a deposit with a CBN licensed deposit bank. They hold the funds, and then once Babajide Real Estate meets the terms that both of you agreed on, we release the money to Babajide. Or let's say you're paying outrightly, so you're buying a duplex and you're buying for Babajide Real Estate. Once you say Babajide Real Estate is able to provide the documents and all that they offer, release the money. So Safehouse gets the documents, goes to the property, ensure that whatever is on the document is what is standing, and then we release the money, and then everybody's happy. So we ensure that you do not get to run into trouble investing in real estate. We connect you to the right people and professionals. Now, another things that you need to do to avoid being scammed is understand the various land titles and their meaning. For example, one of the mistakes that people make is survey. You're going to buy land and they say survey in progress, in process, excision in process. Anything that is in process is not a title. You need to watch out for these things to ensure that you are getting the right value and you're not buying a land that has issues or buying a property that has issues. So understand what land titles are. What is C of O? What is a governor's consent? What is an excision? What is a gazette? What is excision in process? And luckily for every one of us, Safehouse has a thread on Twitter where we discuss extensively about land titles and their meaning. I would like that every one of us try and reach out, go to Safehouse's Twitter, and that's at Buy Safehouse on Twitter, and check out for that thread where we talked about title. How is it that how do they relate to your property? So you don't want to buy a property that has a wrong title. And then the next thing we'll talk about is conduct a proper due diligence. It means that whatever title that is said the property that you have as, take that title, plot it, go to the land registry, and ensure that that title has been confirmed, that that land doesn't have litigation on it, that that land is not under government acquisition, that that land has not been used for mortgage. A good example, I'll just give a good story about this. So I was helping a developer to negotiate a joint venture arrangement between the landowner and the developer. So a venture arrangement means that the landowner has the land, the developer has the finance, he takes the land and then builds on that land. And then at the end of the transaction, gives a certain percentage of the sales to the landowner for the land. So I was negotiating a transaction like that around the Kate axis. So when we were going to, before the final meeting, we decided that we should conduct our due diligence. So we got a lawyer and we conducted a due diligence, and we discovered that one of the things that was there was that the land was under litigation, one, and there was a mortgage on the property. So we quickly carried our money and left. So these are some of the things that you should watch out for. And as regards conducting due diligence, I'll go back to what Safehouse is doing to help you conduct due diligence, even if you're not in Nigeria or even if you are anywhere around the world. Now, another thing that you should watch out for is avoid land grabbers. One of the things that we offer in our due diligence is beyond government acquisition and all that. You want to understand the history of a property, because you can buy a property that, yes, the title is okay and all that, but there's a family toss over that property. I have someone that bought a property. I couldn't access the land for years. Because there was a family toss over the property. So aside of just the title, you want to understand the history of the property you're buying. What kind of family are you buying into? Do they give problems? What about when you want to build? These are the things that you should do. Then I talked about studying your sales agreement and offers before signing. I talked about that. Then I just going to talk briefly on who is Safehouse and how can we help you on this journey of avoiding being scammed. I'll just talk about that shortly. So, who are we? Safehouse, we're a team focused on flattening the number of fraudulent real estate transactions in Nigeria by boosting transparency and trust in the real estate space. How are we ensuring you're safe? We are leveraging technology to manage an escrow system that mandates fulfillment of all obligations before funds are released. All funds in our escrow are resident in a CBN licensed bank, and so they are insured. So I will talk about due diligence quickly. So I talked about Safehouse as a product that we've called DAS. That's DDAAS, Due Diligence as a Service. And you can visit our website at www.buysafehouse.com and click on the due diligence so you understand so you can conduct a due diligence analysis or report for every property you're trying to get. So from my experience in the industry, we realize that so many individuals and corporates have gotten their fingers burnt because of the lack of conducting a proper due diligence investigation on a property before purchase. The mistake most people make is to think due diligence is just about verifying land from the land registry. It is beyond that. Now, what is DAS? With DAS, we are providing a service that allows you to conduct a proper investigation on a property before making the purchase decision. So wherever you are, you want to buy a property somewhere. So you come to our website, go to ddas.buysafehouse.com, and then you ask that we help you conduct a research, an investigation into that property. So we do a due diligence and we'll give you a comprehensive due diligence report, not just about from the land registry, but containing the history of the land, the families, what we think about the location and all that, and why we think that about the title, if it's safe for you. And you get all this in 48 hours. So I would like to just show us a brief video on how DDS is before I end my session and hand over to Basi from Flutterwave. So if you give me a minute, let me just show you what we're doing with DDS. All right. So I'm just going to show you this. So this is the Safehouse website, the due diligence page. Now, so once you go to our website and you click on due diligence, it will show you this page. And I'll just show you quickly how to use Safehouse to conduct a proper due diligence on any property you're trying to get for just a token. So you go through the site, you read about what we're offering, why you should make use of the service, what due diligence is. You click on get started. It takes you to the due diligence request form. It shows you fill in your personal data, your name, your email address, your phone number. Once you fill those informations, you put the property details, that who's the owner of the property, what's their name. So let's assume a name and fill it in there. Let's use John Doe. Put in the address of their address. You put in the available title. If it's a C of O, governor's consent, registered survey, whatever it is. So for this, we use registered survey. Then provide a survey number. Once you put in the survey number, you click on submit. Once you click on submit, it will message that your due diligence request has been created and a mail has been sent to you to the email address provided with your unique. So go to the mail and see this. So you see your reference number. You click on this link that to continue, or you can choose to continue from the other page. Or you can leave the platform completely if you're not ready to pay and come back at a later time when you're ready to pay. So maybe you're not ready at the time to make the payments. You close and then you come back to your email at any time that you're ready to make payment. You look at this email where you had a reference number and then click on the link that it has been generated for you. It takes you directly to the payment page where you can make payments for the or due diligence report. And then once with those informations that you have provided, so when you click on the link that was sent to your email, it takes you directly to the summary page. So if you would like to also edit the information that you sent before, you can just click on edit information and it takes you back. So you can update it and click on whatever you want to click and you click on make payment. It redirects you to a Flutterwave payment gateway. There you can make payments. You can choose to pay with your dollars. You can pay with your bank. You can pay with your bank transfer. You can pay with barter and all your barter card as well. So you fill in your card details and then make your payment. As soon as you make your payment, as soon as you enter your card PIN and then you click to make payment and it loads. Once the payment it shows you the payment received, you can once you click on that link and you click on your payment, ask for your OTPs. A OTP is sent to your registered phone number, you authorize the payment and the payment is successful. It generates a receipt for you showing that your payment details and show that your status of payment has been paid and you've made a request for due diligence. Once you do that, the Safehouse experts will get across to you to explain, and then in 2 days you get a comprehensive real estate a due diligence report. So that's what Safehouse is what we are achieving with our due diligence as a service. So with our due diligence as a service, we ensure that you don't have to bother. Even if you're in the US, you want to get a property in Enugu, in Ongo Okpala in Imo State. All you have to do is just provide the number, the title number, and all that. Safehouse has registered real estate practitioners on our due diligence service, top property lawyers that we have brought in on board on the Safehouse platform to ensure that when you register for a due diligence service, you get the best service, and we ensure that we get the history and whatever you need to know about that property. So that's what we are doing at Safehouse, and how we are ensuring, and how these are some of the things that we think that you can put in place to ensure that you're not scammed whenever you're trying to get a property. So I will ensure that for everyone that tries to use DDS service from this webinar, we're going to be giving out the discount code at the end of the webinar for everyone that wants to use it, and you get a discount for whatever due diligence reports you're looking out for. So thank you so much for listening to me. I'm going to go on very soon now to invite Basi to take over from me, and then Basi can share his screen and have his presentation. After Basi's presentation, Basi will present for 10 minutes, and then we can subsequently, after Basi's presentation, we'll take questions from both presentation. Thank you very much. Okay, so over to you, Basi.
Thank you very much for having me. Good evening, all. My name is Etim Basi. I'm the vertical head for remittance at Flutterwave. Please, can you enable, okay, 1 minute. Yeah, just to confirm, can you see my screen?
Yes, Basi, we can.
Okay, great. So as I said earlier, my name is Titim Basi. I'm vertical head for remittance at Flutterwave. We were so excited when Safehouse called us and said, we'd love us to make a brief presentation on our service. Safehouse is a new startup, and we are a startup-friendly organization. And we are always looking at to see how we can help new businesses coming up to take their business globally. So just like a mild introduction into what we do at Flutterwave. Flutterwave is a Pan-African payment service provider. And basically what we do is to enable businesses in Africa and across the world to receive payments with a single integration. So let me explain that. So if you use Flutterwave as a merchant, whether you're in Nigeria, you're in Ghana, you are in the US, and you are in the UK, you can easily receive payments across the world. So we've built our infrastructure over the years, and we have made this possible for a lot of businesses across the globe. Today, we have offices in Lagos, Nigeria, Ghana, and Nairobi, Kenya, San Francisco in the US. We have our offices in Johannesburg, London, Uganda, Rwanda, and we are still expanding across the globe. This is basically for us to be able to expand our reach to new businesses and to bring them on board on using our services. More of a background on how Flutterwave started. Flutterwave started about 4 years ago by a group of ex-bankers, and the idea was just to build a payment infrastructure across Africa that enables businesses in Africa to receive payments across Africa and globally. We understand the ecosystem in Africa is pretty fragmented. For instance, if you want to receive payment in Kenya, you have to integrate with a mobile money operator. You have to get the service of a card service provider. If you are coming to Nigeria, you have to get a service of a card service provider. So if you want to expand your business across Africa, you need to work with several partners. So multiple partners would cost you more money on the long term in terms of engineering costs, overhead costs in maintaining your infrastructure. So what we did, what our founders did was they came together and they said, okay, let's build a Pan-African payment infrastructure. a Pan-African payment infrastructure in the sense that once you use Flutterwave service, you should be able to receive payments across multiple payment methods in Africa. So if you are in Kenya, if you are a customer, a merchant in Kenya, and you want to receive payments in Nigeria, you don't need to come to Nigeria to integrate with a payment provider. What you need is just to integrate with Flutterwave, and you are covered across multiple payment methods in multiple countries and corridors across Africa. Our mission basically is simplifying payments for endless possibility, and that is the foundation of everything we are doing. Our job every day when we go to work is to ensure that we build payment solutions that are easy to use, simple to use, both for the merchants and for the customer. And by doing this, we have really seen a lot of loyal customers who use our service by the day. So we have a couple of backers, investors. Our investors include Y Combinator, WorldPay, MasterCard, Visa Card, Greycroft, Endeavor, etc. We have a lot of investors who have so much belief in what we are doing in Africa and are financing and backing our company. So just to share a little bit on regulatory commitments we have across Africa, more like regulatory coverages we have Africa. We are licensed by the Central Bank of Nigeria as a payment service provider and also as a international money transfer operator. We are licensed in South Africa as a payment service provider, in Uganda, and also the UK by FCA as a payment service provider. So okay, so we are licensed across Africa, in Nigeria, in South Africa, in all the jurisdictions we operate in. We have licenses in the US, the UK, and also
Please, Basu, you need to unmute yourself. Basu, you need to unmute. Okay, thank you.
Oh, so sorry. I think I need to go back.
Yes, from your regulatory commitments.
Oh, so sorry about that.
All right.
And thanks for letting me know. Okay, so our regulatory commitment, I said we have licenses to operate across Africa in all jurisdictions we operate in, and that includes Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, South Africa, Uganda, Rwanda, and we just opened our office in London early this year, and we also have FCA license both for payments processing and also for remittances. And same for, we are also licensed in the US too as a payment service provider. So a couple of clients we have helped help them grow their business across Africa and also to receive payments in Africa and across the globe. Currently today we have the likes of Uber, Facebook, Binance, Wakanow, Dana A, Arik A, APs, Facebook, Microsoft, and recently Netflix is now using our service to receive payments in Nigeria. So success story, we've helped a lot of companies, but since this is more like a Safehouse is into, it's more like a remittance kind of business in the sense that you are in the UK, you're in the US, and you want to send funds back to buy a property. So we thought to share a success story of one of our remittance partners, TransferWise. So TransferWise, when they wanted to expand across Africa, came to us. That was about 3 years ago, and we onboarded them. Today, we help them remit funds from the UK and other part of the world to Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, and other corridors in Africa. So and then we can do same for Safehouse, and we've discussed this extensively with Safehouse, and we see a future. We see a future in what they are doing, and we are partnering with them on this. So basically, I will just share like our reach and coverage in Africa. So today we do both payment collection. So what we refer to as payment collection is card payment, mobile money payment, collection of payments from your customers through card payment, mobile money payment, or bank account payment, or ACH as the case may be. So currently in Africa, we do that for payment collection, we do process payment across Africa. For payout to corridors, so basically transfers to bank account and mobile money wallet across Africa. Currently, we cover about 21 African countries. So top on the list, of course, is Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, Uganda, Rwanda.
Hello, Basik. Are you still there? Like we've lost. Oh, it's like we lost Basik for a minute. If you have any question for Basi or for me as regards my presentation, I'd like for you to just go straight to the um, chat icon and then drop your message. I've seen Pastor Abiba's message. Respond to that shortly. And if Basi, you can unmute yourself and join if you're back. And if you have other questions for Basi or for me, just put it on the chat group and then we'll respond. All right, Basi, we have Basi back now. Oh, Basi, we lost you for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the last thing we heard from you was when you were talking about where you guys pay out to about 21 countries. So that's where.
Okay, so sorry about that.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Can please share your
so
screen?
Sorry about that.
All right.
Oh, 1 second. Can you see my screen now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So currently today, we do payments collection and payout across Africa. For payment collection, we can process payment across Africa through card payment and alternative payment methods like mobile money, ACH in countries that support ACH like South Africa and Nigeria. For payments, for payout to bank accounts and mobile money wallets, we support over 21 African countries. I can name a few: Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana, South Africa, Rwanda, Uganda, Cameroon, Mali, Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast, etc. We've been doing that for a lot of our remittance partners across the globe for about 4 years now. So I will just go straight to payment flow. I know I've already mentioned this. So on our collection channels, we support POS. Today we do POS. So we have merchants that use our POS. Of course, we collect payments on the web and also on mobile apps. And also on mobile apps. So if you have a solution that you want to receive payments, you can use our payment channels for that. So basically, that's my presentation. It was good to be on this webinar. and I learned. I hope you've learned some things about us as a company. And thank you, Safehouse, for having us.
Well, thank you very much, Basi, and thank you to the Safehouse team for being part of this. Um, so, all right. So, if I would like for us to ask our questions, and if you have a question for Basi or for me, I think that this is the right time to ask your questions. Um, I would I'll take the first question that I can see here. I think it's from Pastor Abiba. It says, how do I get a hold of properties? How do I get a hold of properties that are not so expensive for the longer term? Oh, that's a very good question. Surprisingly, um, Safehouse is, Safehouse is going to be launching our complete MVP sometime in September. Now, one of the things that we're already doing is, as I speak to you right now, we're in talks with reliable real estate companies. In fact, I can, one of the things that, the challenges that we've had is that we've had to turn down lots of real estate companies because they had 40 titles. Some of them, they had titles, but then we, from investigation, realized that the properties are not safe. I know we cannot advise any of our um, partners or clients to invest there. So we're already negotiating with some real estate companies to ensure that we'll have some good properties with the right price for you on the platform. Another thing that we're also doing on Safehouse is that we're also having in talks with mortgage partners. So on Safehouse platform, you're going to easily be able to access mortgage from wherever you are in the world after you have been pre-qualified, and you can do this in literally days. So that's going to be on Safehouse platform as well. And so as regards your question about how you can access cheap properties, just keep watching out for Safehouse. Follow us on our social media platforms. You have that available to you. Another thing that you can also watch out for in trying to get properties is watch out for distress sale. So there are people that have properties and then they just want to they are in need of money, urgent cash, and they just want to sell off immediately so that they can get money and do whatever they want to do. So watch out for those kind of persons. And watch out for houses that are not. So for example, you want to buy a land in Lekki right now. You're going to be only having not within, depending on what part of Lekki, from nothing less than 50 to a billion naira, depending on where in Lekki and the size of the land. But you can watch out for other axes of Lekki, like the Lekki Aja axis, Shango Tedo, Bugije, those axes. In Abuja, for example, it's going to be pretty expensive getting a property in Maitama or Sokoro. But you can watch out for properties like Lugbe, those kind of properties. They are those kind of areas, they are fast developing and the properties are still cheap. They are still affordable, quite affordable. And in the long term, you can literally, the value of property can quadruple, So those are the kind of things that you should watch out for. Then somebody is asking, do properties come with payment plans for individuals with no bulk funds that have steady inflow of money through salaries? Yes, we have that in store. We already have a plan for properties that you can buy, and then pay gradually, monthly, quarterly, pay over a year, pay over 18 months, pay over 24 months. We have that. Well, you're going to be seeing that shortly. So what you're going to do is that you're going to sign up on Safehouse, you're going to have an account, you're going to do your KYC verification to ensure that you're not going to launder money through a platform or you're dealing with the right person. And then with that, you can easily make your payments monthly or whatever way that you decide to do that. So we have all that in the works for that. And there's a question from Samuel Daudu. It says, did you integrate Flutterwave with Safehouse? Yes, we did. If you see the demo that I presented about that's the due diligence as a service, DDAS, you saw that our payment is powered by Flutterwave. And I'll just allow Basi to help confirm that. Basi, if you can unmute yourself, you can help confirm to somewhere that we've integrated Flutterwave into Safehouse. So basically,
Sure, Samuel. Safehouse is integrated into Flutterwave, so we'll help them with payment collection across the globe.
so you can be sure that your money is safe. Safehouse is Flutterwave is one of the, is if not one or even the top remittance platform in Africa. So you do not really have any issues as regards putting your card details and all that to be sure. Um, um, so, Basi, if you can unmute yourself, I would just like to ask a question as regards that. So, I'm sure for people that, most of our audience are not in Nigeria. Okay? And also, and one of the challenges that they will be having is they want to be sure, can Flutterwave, would they be able to pay from wherever they are in the world for the properties they want to buy?
Yeah, certainly you can pay. Wherever you are, you can make card payments. You can also do ACH payment. If you are in the UK, we support ACH payments and also card payments. And of course, card payments, we do receive card payments globally.
All right. Thank you so much, Basi. Thank you. Then Olumide is asking, the documents you mentioned to watch out for when buying a property, will that be part of the service Safehouse will provide in DDAAS? Yes, please, Olumide. So part of the service that we're providing is when you want to buy a property, let's say you're going to buy a land, and then you want to be sure if the property is having a document, you reach out to Safehouse using the due diligence service, tell us about the property and all that. We conduct that due diligence, and then we'll confirm that the document that is said is the document that the buyer told you that is having on that property is truly for him and is truly legitimate. So, for example, some people don't know that a C of O expires after 99 years. Some people don't know that. And you're trying to buy a property, and then the C of O, what is left on that C of O is 5 years. It means that after that, you have to go back to the government and pay again for another C of O. People don't know that. So it's not just about saying the property, the land has a C of O. It's beyond just having a C of O. So people don't know what a governor's consent is. For example, you cannot have two C of O on a land. So let's say, for example, I buy a land from Babajide Real Estate, and that land has a C of O in Babajide's name. When I buy that land and I want to perfect the title to be in my name, I can't get another C of O on that same land. What I will get is a governor's consent authorizing that transaction. So that's what a governor's consent is. So each of these documents have their own peculiar meaning and how important they are. So about documents and title and all that is part of what Safehouse is providing in DDAS service. So if you want to buy a land, reach out to Safehouse. If you want to buy a house, reach out to Safehouse. Try out, get to do a due diligence. Now, due diligence, we have registered real estate lawyers that have years of experience dealing with properties all over Nigeria that are going to help you conduct a proper due diligence. And then we'll package a report for you saying a complete due diligence report for you so that you know what you're getting involved in before you put in your money. I'd rather use 30,000 to do a due diligence and know than go pay 300 million for a land and later discover that that land is a fluke or that land C of O has expired. So these things are very important things that people don't know about. Conduct due diligence on any property you want to purchase. It is very important. It will save you a lot. Even if you are buying a property of 500,000 naira, do a due diligence. Get a due diligence report. Very important. So I think that's all the questions we have right here. If there's any other question, please. Oh, someone is asking if Safehouse will list properties on their website. Certainly, we're going to be listing properties on our website. We're doing conversations with different real estate partners and vendors to bring in their properties after we've gone through our due diligence checklist. Yes, Samuel Dowd is asking, yes, we're currently, and one of the things that you can also do is, while we're waiting for the MVP of Safehouse to be out, if you have a property that you're trying to, you want to get, you can reach out to Safehouse on hello@buysafehouse.com and tell us about your transaction, and we can also help you facilitate that transaction. We have real estate practitioners that we're working with, that we work with, that can help any transaction that you want to do. So if there's no other question, is there any other question? All right, no other questions. So, Frank, I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone that joined us today. Thank you to Basif and the Flutterwave team for joining us and for powering our payments. And we know that it's a very important. Thank you so much, Basi. I don't know, Basi, if you have any last word for everyone.
Yeah, thank you for having us. It was a pleasure being on the webinar. Like I said earlier, we are working closely with Safehouse on this to ensure that they receive payments easily from all customers that want to do their due diligence and also acquire properties in Nigeria. So thank you for having us all.
Thank you so much, Basi, for joining us today. And thank you everyone that joined us today. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Safehouse is going to be having another webinar soon enough. We're going to be talking about the different title documents. What are the things that you should watch out for? We're going to be having a real estate lawyer joining us on that webinar, and you should really watch out for that. So you get to understand the intricacies of things like governance consent, excision, gazette, right of occupancy, registered survey, and all those technicalities. But thanks everyone for joining us today. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a great night. If you need to reach out to us, you can reach out to us on hello@safehouse.com. Thanks for everyone that joined us from the UK, from the US, and every other part of the world. And good night, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.